Hi everyone, today we're going to try out 3 different methods on how to make a matcha latte. Let's go! The first method is using the traditional matcha whisk. Matcha whisk is handmade usually from bamboo and it has about 100 prongs or so. These prongs help it to ensure that you don't have matcha particles left in the bowl. To use a matcha whisk, you want to loosen your wrist and whisk back and forth in an M-shaped pattern. This traditional method of brewing matcha has been used in Japan for centuries and it's really effective to help you get that bowl of silky smooth frothy matcha. However, there are some downsides to this method. First of all, you'll need to learn the proper technique on how to use a matcha whisk, and it can take some time. If you're interested to learn more about how to use a matcha whisk, check out our video tutorial. The matcha whisk is also a consumable. It's made of bamboo, so it usually lasts about 3 to 6 months of heavy use depending on how often and how heavily you use it. Next, this also requires that you use quite a few different tools. Like the matcha whisk, you'll need a whisk holder to keep your whisk intact, as well as a matcha bowl. This also means that at the end of the day, you'll have many tools to wash and clean. And finally, it's also prone to mold if it's not stored correctly. So make sure you air dry it every time or use a whisk holder to make sure that it's always dry. Next, we have the electric frother. These have become quite commonplace and they work by spinning at a high speed to suspend the matcha in the water. First, you want to add the water, then add matcha, and then use the electric whisk, place it in the water and then turn it on. Take note, some frothers, especially the cheaper ones, may not have the same torque or strength to whisk the matcha effectively. So you'll want to make sure that you choose a frother that is designed for matcha, like this Crafti super frother right here. Using the electric frother is really convenient. There's no technique involved, so you can easily learn how to use it, and it's also really easy to clean. However, using the electric whisk, you might still end up with some matcha clumps at the bottom of your drink. To resolve this, you can do 2 things. First, you want to add water first before adding the matcha. What this does is that it prevents the matcha from being trapped at the bottom of the cup. Second, you can also sieve the matcha before you add it to your drink. If you have the time, you can do this and you'll end up with a much smoother matcha latte. Finally, you can also use a shaker bottle to prepare matcha. For this method, all you need to do is to use a bottle, add water, add matcha, and shake. By doing this, you'll help ensure the matcha is suspended through the bottle. The good thing about this method is that it's really portable. You can do it anywhere and you can bring a bottle like this anywhere you go. It's also really easy because it's not very difficult to shake up the matcha in the bottle. However, a downside, and this is a major downside, is that you'll usually end up with pretty clumpy matcha lattes. So how you can avoid this is actually by pouring the matcha you prepare through a sieve. The sieve will trap the matcha clumps, ensuring that your matcha is still smooth. Alternatively, you can also use a bottle with a built-in sieve, like this Wanderer bottle right here. So, which method should you choose? If you're a beginner looking to get started on making matcha at home, we recommend the electric frother. Using this method is really easy, convenient, and it saves you a lot of time. If you're someone who travels a lot, we recommend using the shaker bottle method. Why? This method is the most portable method and it's very convenient to bring around anywhere you go. Finally, if you want the absolute best tasting matcha and you're also after a traditional, more authentic Japanese experience, then you'll have to go for the traditional matcha whisk. It's still the most effective method for making matcha if you can spare the time. So which of these is your favorite? Comment down below what your favorite method is and I'll see you in the next one.